Hello and welcome to another episode of Mike and Dave's Hi-Fi Riff. I'm Mike Evans.
And I'm David Price.
And what we thought we'd do in this episode is just kick back a little bit and get a beer.
Yep.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And we just, cheers. We just thought we'd have an annual general meeting and reflect a little bit on our first 6 or 7 months of Hi-Fi Riff.
Matters arising.
Matters arising.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Matters arising. Absolutely. And the reason why is because we have some lovely riff raffers.
Yeah.
Is that the right thing we should say?
Well,
Maybe.
Pete Farrow from English Acoustics said,
Our old pal.
called them Hi-Fi Riff Raff.
Hi-Fi Riff
So
Raff.
Apparently, if you watch Hi-Fi Riff, you're a Hi-Fi Riff Raff. I'm not sure that's a particularly kind way of putting our beloved viewers, describing our beloved viewers. But,
No. Peter, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I recently went to the Hi-Fi show up in sort of Daventry.
Yep.
In sunny old UK.
Yeah.
Sadly, you couldn't make it. You were a bit rough at the time, weren't you?
Had some kind of horrible lurgy or something.
Apparently, there's something going around. Some global pandemic or something.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
No,
but,
heaven knows. Anyway, I met some fantastic people there, and it was really great for me. Some of the people who were exhibiting, some of the manufacturers, and indeed some of the guests were very friendly, very chatty, and talking about Hi-Fi Riff, which I was absolutely thrilled about.
Yeah.
And it was great to get some lovely feedback.
I thought you were going to say they were really nice until they found you were...
That was from Hi-Fi Riff, yes, quite. So that was all good.
Yeah.
And also, we get some terrific comments, I think, at the end of some of our videos. So thank you very much indeed for that. We're delighted.
Yeah.
But we thought we'd address some of the questions which we get from time to time.
Yeah.
We thought in our Matters Arising,
exactly,
we'd answer some of the questions.
Yeah.
So
we do, by the way, we do have an email address as well.
We do.
And if you go into the About section on YouTube, you can find it. But I think it's not exactly... Well, it's fairly well hidden, I think, is the...
Sure.
But some people have managed to kind of get through the system and find it. But it's basically Mike and Dave's Hi-Fi Riff at gmail.com. And if you can spell Mike and Dave's Hi-Fi Riff and you can spell gmail.com, then we're not going to bother to put it up on the screen.
No.
But email us. We'd be happy to look at your emails, and we love reading the comments as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll also do another one of these where we answer some specific questions.
Yeah.
And we'll do a Christmas issue as well, I think.
Yeah.
So we've got maybe a slightly extended one.
Yeah.
But I think one of the questions which we get is why are we doing it? Why are we doing Hi-Fi Riff?
I don't know.
We have no idea why the hell we're doing it. No, actually, it was an idea which came to us a few years ago now. It's taken us a while to sort of get some traction, but obviously David and I are both passionate about hi-fi. David very much in the industry, and myself very much of just a hi-fi and a music lover.
Yeah.
And I said, no one's really doing this, and just chatting about it. So we do it primarily for ourselves.
Yeah.
We do it because we enjoy it.
Yeah.
And we do it because we're a bunch of sad old gits who actually, this is what we do in real life when we meet up. We have a beer and we talk about hi-fi until we bore the crap out of everyone else in the room, and it ends up just you and I on a sofa, probably a bit drunk on some beer or some red wine, and arguing about who's had the best system in the past.
Yeah, arguing about whether the Lin K9 cartridge was better than the Riga R100 from 1983.
Yes.
So that kind of thing.
Exactly.
So,
and if you glued your 8095 stylus in, did it sound better?
Yeah.
That sort of
yes.
highbrow conversation.
And what was the difference between the 8093 and the 8095, Mark? Your starter for 10.
The 8095 was elliptical.
Okay, you're right. I'll let you have it. So,
okay, there we go.
You see, I was trying to catch him out.
You see, this is the kind of crap which we talk about.
A&R C77 versus A&R E77.
What was it? E77 was elliptical. What about the P77?
That was parabolic.
There you are.
And the C77 was conical, which is...
It was.
Yeah, exactly.
It was, absolutely.
So there you go.
Yes, so moving swiftly on. Look, first and foremost,
I'll get you in a minute. Don't worry.
First and foremost, we do it completely for ourselves.
Yeah.
If people watch it and like it, we are delighted. If you don't, sorry, but it's just for us. It's just
not compulsory. You don't have to watch.
No,
this,
no one's paying to watch it. So that's kind of really important.
Yeah.
We do it in one take. We do this in one take.
Say that again, Mike.
So we do have some really great errors, and occasionally, well, personally, I get things wrong. You normally correct me. But no, everything's done in one take. It takes us about 20 minutes to do a video.
Yeah.
And we literally roll the camera and talk rubbish for 20 minutes and say thank you to everybody and move on.
It's always done in one take. So we do it, we switch the recording on, we do it, and then we move on, do another one, different one. So we don't kind of redo the same one again and again.
Yeah, so and also it makes it look like we only wear the same clothes, but occasionally we do 3 or 4 back to back, which is why we look like this.
Yeah.
But what we do is we will listen to all the equipment first. We're lucky to have some of the kit provided to us, and David has an extensive museum of incredible hi-fi products. I've got a few, but not in the same
museum.
class.
Thank you.
It's a bloody museum. Whether any way you look at it, it's a museum you have of hi-fi stuff. So occasionally, I'm very lucky that David brings around the odd, classic piece of hi-fi from yesteryear, which we do our retro riffs, and then we have our modern riffs, which are provided to us by some of the lovely manufacturers. Because also,
and some of the unlovely ones as well.
Well, there are none. They're all. The industry's full of charming people. But full disclosure here, David is obviously the global editor of StereoNET, which is the world's biggest online hi-fi magazine.
I'm not sure it's quite that, but we're on the way. Let's just lie and say yes.
Yes. Okay. Very good. We can't think of one that's bigger, but apart from that,
I don't know if are there any others. I don't know.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Yeah.
And obviously I do some guest writing from time to time, as well as the riffing as well. So so we do have the kit. We don't just make it up. We reviewed a pair of ATCs, and somebody put in the comments, did you really review these? Did you really have them? So I had to put a smiley face of me next to the ATCs and ping it off just to prove
they're
that
still actually just there in Mike's system.
They are.
Because he's forgotten to phone up ATC and ask them to take them back.
We have, yes.
I'm sure they will go back at some point.
They will.
Mike's just hoping it'll be a long time.
Well, actually, that's one of the things. One of the questions we get is, do we get to keep the kit? And the answer is very sadly no, we don't, because we get some fantastic kit to review, but it all generally winds its way back to where it came from. They're normally review samples, which are just bog standard samples. They haven't been tweaked or modified in any way. We do the unboxing at home, burn them in, listen to them, try and do it all properly, and then when the review's been done, they get asked to be taken back.
And one of the main reasons for that is we don't live in a 17-room mansion. It would be nice to have like an individual massive room full of speakers and everything, but you've got to kind of keep things flowing and moving, but it's very interesting to be able to keep something for review for a while, because you can try it with other stuff and so on.
In the case of the ATCs, case in point, we've used those now with an awful lot of things as a good pair of reference speakers.
Yes.
And you hope that ATC are also pleased with that, and they're enjoying the fact that we're enjoying their speakers, for example.
Well, they've probably forgotten, and they don't watch Hi-Fi Riffs.
This is the Occam's razor of the Mike and Dave's Hi-Fi Riff channel.
Exactly.
Yes, that's going to be the most common denominator, isn't it? That they don't know who the heck we are.
So, as for the question about are we going to throw in our day jobs? I can't remember who asked that one. No, in my case, and I don't think Mike
no
either.
No, we don't make any money out of this. So it's just purely for fun.
It's literally just for kind of messing around, hanging out, and enjoying what we do. And we always go for a debrief afterwards down there, Mike's local. Which is a good with the Hi-Fi Riff Hi-Fi Pub.
Hi-Fi Riff Hi-Fi Pub. Yes.
It'd be nice to do a live. Kind of broadcast from that one day, if we can talk the landlord into doing that.
And also I think we do have some ambitions to do something like that. Whether we speak at a show or not, I don't know. We're more than happy to do these things and have a live riff. As I say, David's got a career of extensive knowledge, which is absolutely fascinating to tap into. If you get the opportunity, then it's brilliant.
Yes, I've forgotten more about hi-fi than most people know.
I just find it quite astonishing. And if if you have a question, you'll realise that why this isn't staged, why we can just sit here and chat, because David's knowledge is second to none.
You know quite a lot as well, mate. You were in retail for a while, weren't you?
I was for a little bit, yeah.
You went on to other things.
Yeah, not all that long, a few years.
Yeah,
and a great hi-fi dealership with some fantastic people.
Yeah,
but it's funny because the people who I met then, lots of them are still in the industry.
Yeah.
Still sort of treading the boards. And really nice guys and gals as well. So.
Well, there's one thing from a journalist point of view, is that people in retail really know their stuff, So so journalists tend to do review after review after review in sequence, and they don't kind of live with the stuff, see it every day, listen to it every day, all the time for years.
Sure.
And in retail, you got to try out a lot of different combinations, didn't you?
100%.
And that's an amazing thing, and that's something that we journalists, we should humbly doff our caps to, because we do try and mix and match as much as we can. But in retail, you're right at the coalface, seeing what works with other things.
And the nice thing was as well is we also had people bring their kit in.
Yeah.
So you get to listen to quite a lot of different things which you probably don't even sell. And also we went to people's houses.
Yeah.
So you'd actually do demonstrations in someone's front room.
Yeah.
Within the context of their own system.
Yeah.
So you got to know what was what and what word. I wasn't in retail for a huge amount of time, but prior to retail, you and I have been into hi-fi since we were 11 years old, reading hi-fi magazines like they were going out of fashion, and dreaming about listening to the stuff, which luckily we've had the chance to. So we kind of knew about everything before we got into it. And then obviously you've kept up your knowledge by being within the industry for many, many moons now.
Yeah, well, put it this way, when other boys of our age were reading their older brother's copy of Razzle, we were reading Hi-Fi Answers.
That's how do we ever get that with wives and God, I don't know.
So that's probably it's probably a bit of a damning indictment. But I remember thumbing. So top shelf material. So let's put it that way.
Brilliant.
But I can remember thumbing through a copy of Popular Hi-Fi in O-level physics, at the back of the class with my kind of bag open, to hide it. So
and we'd have huge arguments about what was the best tone armor cartridge, and we hadn't even listened to any of the stuff. We were just going from people's reviews are saying and all this stuff.
Chris Franklin said this.
So Malcolm Stewart said this.
Alvin Gold said that.
Yes, absolutely. So some really good stuff, and luckily we've got to meet some of these people as well.
Yeah.
Who were our sort of childhood heroes, if you like, in our sad little hi-fi world. One of the questions which you get, I think, is what's your favourite hi-fi products over the time? Difficult question. But I'm probably in a better position to answer it for you because I don't know as many as you do.
Yeah.
So for me, I think if I were to split it into categories, then I think the Riga Planer 3 has been ubiquitous, always there.
Yeah.
Fantastic product.
Yeah.
And it was something we really aspired to. I started with the dual CS505 and graduated to the Riga 3.
Yeah.
And that was brilliant.
And when we both got our Riga 3s, which must have been early mid 80s, that kind of thing, 83, 84, 85, that kind of time.
Yes.
It was like going into another world, wasn't it?
100%. So it really was. That was a stratospheric upgrade. It was, it was a big bang for your buck. 188 quid.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Then amplifiers. Well, I've got a massive soft spot for my Name-Nate 1.
Have you?
So
that comes as a complete surprise to me, Mike. So
that would be brilliant. David's got
I think you should talk about it more on the Hi-Fi Riff.
David's got a soft spot for his NVA AP30, which I know is true.
Yeah.
And in fact, on David's NVA AP30, he wrote on a sort of little sticky note, blow up at about 8 on the volume scale, saying don't turn it past this, otherwise smoke comes out the top.
Yes,
that was quite cool.
That's because it did blow up when I turned it up to 8 once.
Yes,
But to be fair to it, it was driving my Lin Cans, and it really wasn't designed for that kind of thing in life. If we're being honest. So
CD players. I reckon we probably both have the same one as our favourite, one of our favourite pieces of hi-fi, which is a Sony CDP-X77 ES.
Yeah. Don't tell anyone, Mike.
No, don't.
We we want to own all of the last surviving examples before they die.
It's just an absolute belter.
Yeah.
It's just a fantastic CD player.
Yeah.
DAC, we're both big chord fans.
Yes,
Big chord fans. For me, I think probably the Mojo, because it gives you that accessibility as well. Plug it into your phone, decent pair of earbuds, and you've got a great hi-fi sound.
Yeah.
So Chord Mojo would be right up there for me, and speakers are probably going to totally disagree on here. Totally disagree on. But
you're going to say Linsaras.
Oh my gosh! Do you know? I think I might have to, but as a real favourite as well, I adored my Quad ESL 57s.
Yeah.
They were terrific. But the Saras for me, are just. They were an aspirational speaker.
Yeah.
Really wanted them, and I wasn't disappointed. I used to have a pal I used to work with. His name was Bruce Lee.
Okay.
Which is a great name.
Right. Was he in films?
And he used to get into a lot of fights, I would imagine. And he used to call them disco speakers, which I get totally, because they are disco speakers, but I love them.
Well, I've never seen any at the disco.
What would your favourite speakers be?
So I'm afraid I'm really boring, but I love my Yamaha NS1000Ms. So it's I can't reveal too much about this, but I've been warned in the past for referring to them too much in hi-fi reviews. I won't say who by. But they are great speakers, and they do so many things that I like. But I do have. I do have a wider bandwidth than that, so I do like lots of speakers.
Sure.
And
but this was favourite hi-fi product.
Yeah,
so it was a very subjective question.
Well, actually, in terms of my kind of personal kind of formative years for hi-fi, my Lincan ones.
Yeah.
And again, that will have people.
They were great.
Vomiting, because a lot of people hate them and think they're rubbish. But I got great sound out of them.
You did.
And
you did.
And they were extremely good, especially in the kind of rooms that I was using them at the time.
Yes.
And with my LP12, ITOC, and Supex SD900,
yes,
and NVA AP30, that was a cracking system.
And we talk about this a little bit, but sometimes hi-fi is a little bit like alchemy, isn't it?
It
turning
is.
base metals into gold.
Yeah.
And you can get something like that, which probably shouldn't work together.
Yeah.
But it creates some kind of magic. So I don't think there's ever any real sort of an ethereal right or wrong with that answer. I think it's kind of whatever floats your boat. I mean, one of my favourites was, and this is going to sound even more batshit, is LP12 Arrow.
Yeah.
With a Karma, Lin Karma cartridge, and
great
a
cartridge.
Lingo power supply.
Yeah.
Name Nate 1 and Saras.
Yeah.
I mean, that should never work in a million years. But oh my gosh, that sang. It's just a great system. Just fabulous. And the Karma was a great cartridge.
It was, I think, a special cartridge.
A really special cartridge, yeah, superb.
Yeah.
You get asked a lot, what's the best thing you've ever reviewed? That's a really tricky one. I don't know where you begin with that. But again, maybe I could plant a bit of a seed, and this is just a bit of a story as well. So I was just at home one evening and minding my own business, and there's a knock on the door, and it's David. And David turns up, and he has this little box with him. He says, I've got to come in, you've got to listen to this, you've got to plug it. I need you to tell me if this is as good as I think it is. And you came with the Chord Hugo Mark 1, didn't you?
Yes, it was the very first. I think no one else had reviewed it either.
You were the only person, I think, to have it.
Yeah.
And we plugged it in, and we were like, oh my God, that's what DAC should sound like.
Yeah.
So I think for me, if I had to answer that question for you,
thank you.
then that would be
You're
my
going to
answer.
let me answer it as well.
No,
okay.
Whatever you say, my answer's way better.
So, fair enough. Yeah. What's the best thing David's ever reviewed, according to Mike?
Yes. That's what the question should have been.
Yes, okay.
If you're going to put questions in, then it needs to be more specific like that and have me referenced in it.
Okay, thanks, Mike.
So
well, I'll just sit here and I'll just drink away. You crack on.
That's pretty par for the course. Go on then. Would you say that there's something which really stands out in your mind?
Now I've taken the piss out of you for answering the question directed to me. I'm going to let myself down by saying I can't haven't got a clue. So
Sure.
it's it's such a wide and broad question that
Yes.
it's really
Yeah.
difficult.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna, if you don't mind, I'm gonna answer that in the next matters
Fine.
arising.
Fair enough.
Because
Fair enough.
I
No,
need
very
to kind
good.
of go on a very long walk on the Ridgeway, and for about 3 hours, and kind of go through it in my head.
And can I just say, and then he's going to come back and say, "Oh, it's the Cord Hugo, the original one, the very first one."
No, I'm not.
We're asked occasionally where are we going with the riff? What's
Yeah.
going to happen with it?
So yeah.
Should we talk about the whole Cord Hugo again?
Well, yeah.
Where it's going to go? Well, look, we're not going to change because we do it for us, and we really love doing it. We enjoy talking crap about hi-fi. I think somebody compared us to, very flatteringly, Mark Kermode and Simon Mayo.
Yeah.
And we just chat about it and enjoy it and have
Someone
fun.
else
And,
compared us to Wayne's World. So
yes,
Wayne and Garth.
yeah. We're not going to
So-
ask any questions at all about that.
Yeah.
But this is what we're trying to do. We're just trying to have a bit of a laugh. And we enjoy it very, very much. We enjoy having a beer while we have a chat. And it really is, two old gits talking about hi-fi, which is what someone else said.
Yes, and us.
So and us as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So we're not going to change too much. It would be lovely. It's lovely when people do subscribe, and we've got we're getting to a point of some traction now. Somebody very kindly said we're the best kept secret, which again,
Yeah.
which is fine.
We've got more subscribers than the total of our extended families now. So-
That's saying something,
So,
now, isn't it? Yes,
it's
yes,
great.
yeah. And I
So-
think we've got two women now are subscribing too.
Yeah.
Our demographic is
Yeah.
very narrow, but we would love to sort of widen that profile a little bit.
Maybe,
I'd like more people to
maybe 3 women, but
Yes.
But anyway, I
Yeah.
mean, I think seriously, we like this format very much. We may do other things, and we may do all kinds of factory visits and various things and shows, and that's all fine. We're very happy to think about that. But for us, the format of us just sitting here, sort of shooting the breeze, as it were, works very well, and it's sort of almost what we do off camera, isn't it?
Because we're that sad.
Yes. And this is actually your sofa.
Yes,
And
it is.
so
Yeah.
there's nothing kind of artificial about it. So it has a kind of authenticity to me, which I think shows through. And our kind of production quality isn't the best, and we don't spend huge amounts of money on fancy video editing techniques, and there is virtually no video editing because it's just
Live.
a one take which we record, and then top and tail, and that's it.
That is.
So
Yeah.
So
And look, and also, if you do meet us down the Hi-Fi Riff pub, then this is what you're going to get. You're going to get two old guys
Yeah.
talking crap about hi-fi.
Well, you are.
Old or crap?
Well, one or the other.
Or both, absolutely. But look, we're glad that some people are enjoying it. We are thrilled by some of your positive comments. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And this has been a bit of an odd one. This was our only
Yeah.
other business, but there we are.
Yeah,
we'll do
if-
it again. If people
Absolutely,
like
yeah.
it, we'll do it again.
If you like it,
So,
then we can do
drop
it
us a
again.
line, and we'll also maybe we'll do one where we answer we'll do some serious answers, or try and do some serious answers
Yeah.
to some serious questions.
So please do leave a comment
Yeah.
at the bottom of the video with
Absolutely,
your questions,
absolutely, yeah.
or email Mike and Dave's Hi-Fi Riff at gmail.com. I nearly got that wrong.
No, very good.
So we're up for answering anything and talking to you guys. So.
Yeah, but we're just doing it. We're not trying to be contentious. We just say what we like and say what we hear.
And face the consequences.
Yeah, and if there's anyone out there who doesn't like Rush, then you can unsubscribe immediately.
Exactly. Yeah.
On that bombshell, on that
Exactly.
note, as it
Yeah.
were. Thank you for watching all of our episodes of Hi-Fi Riff. We really appreciate it, and long may that continue, and we will keep on churning them out as long as we're still enjoying our hi-fi side
absolutely.
of it.
Yeah.
So brilliant.
Cheers.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
That was 10 out of 10 on the riffometer, wasn't it?
1.
Thanks, everybody.